if you're going through a difficult time right now, I want you to know that it will get better. And you have to believe that. You have to believe that it's going to get better, and it's not always going to be like this. Some of you may know how much diabetes affects mental health. Managing type 1, managing type 2, taking care of another person who has diabetes, it all can be really overwhelming. And mental health is really a big focus of mine. And I'm a huge advocate for mental health. And in the past, I haven't had the best mental health. And I feel like I'm now currently in a better spot mentally where I can help other people. And that's what I want to do. Upon researching mental health and diabetes and how those interconnect, I learned about something called diabetes distress. And I don't know if anyone else has heard of this term. I've heard of diabetes burnout, but I have not heard of diabetes distress. And basically, diabetes distress is just a common feeling of frustration or worry and anxiety of having to manage diabetes. And I thought that was just diabetes. I thought that's just what diabetes was. Yeah, it's frustrating, it's overwhelming, it's difficult. You worry a lot. There's a lot of anxiety behind taking care of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Whether you're the person with diabetes or you're taking care of someone that has diabetes, there's a lot of anxiety. And if not taken care of, if you don't, take care of those feelings and work through the mental health struggles that you may be experiencing because of diabetes, it could lead to depression, and it could lead to diabetes burnout, which is scary. And I don't know if you know what diabetes burnout is, but diabetes burnout, you basically give up. You basically stop caring. You don't take care of yourself. You might avoid your appointments. You just want to quit diabetes, and you might even stop taking insulin or just stop taking care of your health. And that's really dangerous. And so we want to combat those feelings of diabetes distress before it gets to that point. We want to ask for help when we need it before it gets to that point. I have been trying to wake up before the kids do so I can get myself right first thing in the morning. I take my pills, take my energy drink, and I hop on my Usul fitness bike. I love this bike so much. It's so fun. I haven't always been a fan of biking, but taking time out for myself first thing in the morning to be active and get my heart pumping really energizes my morning. I can screencast my phone to the bike screen so I can watch Netflix or my shows, even some YouTube videos if I want, while I work out. The screen quality and the sound is top tier. I really enjoyed my workout and I really got into my show. I'm glad that I was able to take at least 20 minutes in the morning to focus on myself, get my heart rate going, and so important for me to put myself first right now. 20 minutes in the morning at least to hop on the bike, get a little sweat going. The rest of my day just goes amazing. I haven't always been a fan of exercise bikes, but Usul actually makes it fun to exercise with the bike. I can watch my shows and not pay attention and just kind of cruise through my workout. I kind of forget that I'm working out because I'm enjoying what I'm watching. And Addie woke up and she was motivating me to go faster and harder. Addie was such a good cheerleader. She was pushing me to go harder and harder and harder, so I decided not to disappoint her and really busted my ass with this workout. I was sweating by the end of it, for sure. But I felt great, and that's what's most important, is that I felt great and I took time out for myself. This workout was actually really, really fun because I pushed myself, and now I can start my day feeling super energized. I feel like some music would really, really boost my workout and make the cardio even more fun than it already is. Right now, the bike is on sale, and with my discount code, you can get $100 off. The link is in the video description below. Check them out and take advantage of the great sale they're having right now. And myself, I struggle with asking for help. And I think that's why a lot of times early on in Addie's diagnosis, it was very stressful, extremely stressful, because nobody in my family was understanding what me and my partner were going through, and nobody was really asking how they could help in the way that could really help us, because we didn't know. So I want to tell you guys now some ways that you can help combat diabetes distress and avoid depression and diabetes burnout. And the number one thing is asking for help, knowing when you're struggling, and just asking for help, even if it's just a little break. Like if you're a T1D caregiver, finding a good T1D babysitter, or just getting a break, some time where you don't have to think about diabetes. And that's if you're a caregiver. I know when you have diabetes yourself, you can't really stop thinking about it. You can't like give it away for a small amount of time. But you can reframe how you feel about your diabetes and how you think about your diabetes. Obviously, you want to still focus on being healthy and taking your insulin and doing the things that you need to do to keep your blood sugars in control. But also, it's not all that you are. You know, there's other things to you, not just diabetes. Sometimes managing the diabetes, I think, comes a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. I could have done better. I could have done this differently. I could have not ate that, etc. But I think another thing that helps is not being so hard on yourself, giving yourself grace. You have a chronic illness or you're taking care of somebody who has a chronic illness. It's not going to be perfect all the time. You're not going to be perfect. It's just all about doing the best that you can. And if you get to a point where you need help, you got to ask for help. You got to. If not a personal support system, we have this online community. You found us, you're here. Ask for help in the comments, ask for advice. I think a lot of people actually want to help others that are struggling and going through the same thing, because we're all human and that's what we need. We need each other to get through difficult things. Online community is our new village, I guess. And that's how we should treat it. And that's how we should utilize the internet while we have it. We have all the tools and resources to reach out and help each other. So comment below if you're struggling with something specific and maybe somebody else can help you too. One of the things I research is giving yourself small, attainable diabetic management goals. You want to get your A1C lowered and currently it's at an 8. Maybe shoot for 7.5. Don't, kick yourself if you don't get it under 7 or it's not 5.5. Any little bit of progress is good progress. So if your A1C is 8 and then next year it's a 7.7 or it's 7.5, that's great. That's great. You're doing great. It's small progress. Don't be upset because it's not where you want it to be. Make small, attainable goals for yourself. So when you reach those goals, you feel good about those goals and it'll give you the motivation to go on and make even more goals to reach. And that's ultimately how you get to where you want to get, small baby steps. I also believe talking about your frustration helps. If you have a good support system, someone who likes to listen to you yapping, go to them. Or if you have a therapist, someone that's familiar with maybe individuals that have chronic illnesses, or they're familiar with the stress that caregivers go through, talking to a therapist is also really, really helpful. When Addie was newly diagnosed when she was 1, I asked a lot of people, does it get better? And a lot of people lied to me and said it did, so I'm not going to lie to you and say it does get better. But you do get better at managing it. You get better at managing it. The situation doesn't get better. You get better. You learn how to cope. You build tools. You gain information and advice from other people. You have all these things in your tool belt, so you're more prepared. You're more seasoned. For me, just knowing that Addie was going to be able to live a normal life like other children, and I see other people in the diabetic community who are getting married and having babies and living healthy, fulfilling lives, that gives me so much more promise and hope for my daughter's future. And that's what I focus on. I focus on that bigger picture. I am not gonna be upset that she was only in a range 50% of the time yesterday. I'm gonna take notes and do better tomorrow. And that's really all what it is you get down, you fall on the floor, you get back up. Because you can do hard things, you can. I leave this with, not to scare anybody, but people that have diabetes are 3 times more likely to end up depressed. And that's why we need to be there for each other, and we need to ask for help when we're feeling overwhelmed. And we need to work with those that love us and the support system around us to figure out how to get out of this, how to feel better, and what we can do. We can create a plan to get better and feel better because you're worth it. Don't give up.